Happy Monday, everybody. So you should have your 9.8 vocab sheet up on your screen. Underneath your table, you should have added bullet points, and I'm going to want you to take notes on this short presentation I'm going to give you here and those bullet points. Once you're done, make sure you share that document with me. So in our other presentation, we talked about topologies, the ways to organize networks. So just like there's different ways to organize networks, there's different ways to link computers. Some networks have an architecture made up of links and servers, while others are designed so that all parts of the network are connected to each other. Okay, so in a client-server network, this is what an example of a client-server network is. Okay, at DMA, we have a client-server network. The server is actually in the closet in the back of my classroom. So on the client-server network, one computer, okay, which is the server, so it is a type of computer, controls all the other computers. That server controls the access other computers have to shared resources, storage, document, emails, different printers, the fax machines, etc. Okay, some servers are set up to perform tons of different functions, and some just have one particular task, so it depends on the type of server. Larger networks probably most definitely utilize multiple servers to help balance that load and to balance everything that's going on within the network. Okay, so for example, one server may just be the email server. Okay, or one may just be the printer server or the web server. So it really depends on the size of your networks. The client machines here, which are the computers, okay, they talk to the server and then communication goes back. So when you're using the computer in my classroom, how do you access the internet? You log onto your computer, you click on your Google Chrome icon, your computer, the client, is then communicating with the server that's in my closet, and then that information is being sent back to your specific computer. Okay, pretty simple. In a peer-to-peer network, all machines are equal. Okay, so there's not one dominant server like in the client-server network. With this type of network, each computer is equal to every other computer on the network. So every other computer has the similar access. So on a server network, for example, at DMA, I log in as an administrator on that network. You guys do not have this access to the same things that I do on my computer because I have different permissions set as an administrator versus you guys that you do not. In a peer-to-peer network, every computer is the same. Every computer has access to all similar documents, resources, etc. When a peer-to-peer network is in place, any user, like I just said, can share files, share folders with other machines on the network. This works out well when those in the network have a high level of trust with one another. So not that we don't trust you as students, but obviously in a school, teachers are going to have more trust installed in them than the students are. Having a peer-to-peer network can be a security risk since, like I said, everybody has equal access. So here are some different purposes. So P2P is the peer-to-peer. So I want you guys to definitely take down these notes from this slide here. You can choose whether you set up a peer-to-peer or a client-server network depending on your situation, depending on what you need and the technology that you need. In a client-server network, it's going to be more expensive because one or more computers are going to have to act as that server versus acting as clients, okay? The online music and sharing service, Napster. I don't know if you guys ever remember that. It was like a first world iTunes. Okay, that's a peer-to-peer network. Anybody that accesses iTunes has equal access. You guys can all download music. Skype is an example of a peer-to-peer network. If you log into Skype and you're using Skype, everybody on Skype has the same access. Same thing with Zoom. Okay, the services Skype were originally called Sky Peer-to-Peer, and then they shortened it to call it Skype. So I think that's interesting. Peer-to-peer networks are also used for instant messaging, such as like Google Chat when you're going into somebody's DMs, Yahoo Messenger, AIM. Client-server model, that's used by WANs and LANs. Remember we talked about WANs and LANs last week. WAN is a wide area network, LAN is a local area network. Okay. In a WAN and a LAN, it's going to depend on how the clients receive that data. Most likely they're going to receive it from a server. Okay, a typical example, is email, which is usually hosted by an email server. So Gmail, for this class, is your Gmail server. Okay, and then you all set up your clients, your computers using Gmail, and then you can download and send messages. Yeah, I think that's it. So if you guys have any questions, make sure, again, you take these notes down on that 9.8 and share it with me when you are done.